This video might make some people upset, and I understand that going into this. That's why I'm going to give you a protocol that I want you to follow if at any point throughout this video you get upset. Rule 1. If you get upset anytime throughout this video, you are now no longer allowed to click off the video. If you get mad at me and click off the video, you don't even know what else I was gonna say. Maybe we end up agreeing more than you think. Rule number 2. Use your words. If you want to correct something that I've said or argue with me, the comment section is here for a reason. Write a convincing comment telling me why I'm wrong. Anyway, let's get into this. Anthony Fantano is one of the largest music review / critique channels on YouTube, and he's been making his videos where he reviews music for over 10 years, which has gained him a level of respect in the music community. You know, when this guy gives a review for something, a lot of people take it very seriously. Now, music, like most other art forms, is heavily subjective. There's a reason why some people like some genres of music and not others. Some instruments or sounds are piercing and annoying to some people's ears and sonically pleasing to others. Some people even deny the fact that certain genres of music are even music in the first place. But because music's enjoyability is so subjective, it can be hard to give it an objective score, although I do think doing so is possible. I think music and comedy are very similar when it comes to the subjectivity of its enjoyment. Obviously, certain people enjoy different types of humor in the same way that different people enjoy different genres of music. And so even if, let's say, I like rap and you like rock, you can still understand why I enjoy rap and I can understand why you enjoy rock. Or I like Theo Von and you like Bill Burr, for example. But one thing I think most people can agree on is Amy Schumer is very unfunny, just overall, objectively. And this song that I'm about to play to most people would just sound like complete garbage noise. And that's enough of that, but I bring this all up to say it is challenging to objectively score a song or an album just based on how subjective music is. But most of the time, it is possible to be at least pretty accurate. Well, Kanye West is one of the biggest pop stars and rappers of like all time. I don't think he needs an introduction, and well, obviously recently over the past year or two, he's gotten himself into a lot of controversy for statements that he's made, things that he said, etc. But I'm not here to do a group therapy session and hold everybody's hand while we go over the things that Kanye said and we just dissect them and see like, oh, why did he say this? Why did he say that, bro? This is not what this is about. Kanye, above everything else, is a music artist. Music is what made him famous. Music is what gave him an audience and fans. And so when your job is to review music on YouTube, you need to just review the music. Do not do a political analysis of the things that he's saying. Don't talk about his history, his personal life, etc. Just talk about the music, okay? That's it. Just review the album. Well, Anthony Fantano refuses to do that, and I think it's a very slippery slope, because if you say, well, this person's a bad person, I can't listen to their music because of certain political things they've said, you need to keep that exact same standard with every single artist when it comes to like anything bad they've ever done. You basically can't listen to any song that mentions doing drugs, killing people, etc., because those are promoting very bad things. Anthony Fantano made a video today saying he couldn't review the new Kanye album because of how much, like, you know, Kanye is a bad person or whatever, and he cites that Kanye is anti-Semitic, but he also has this horrible point about how apparently Kanye is objectifying his wife, which makes no sense at all. We'll get into that. If you're gonna sit there and morally grandstand and say, oh, I can't review this person's music because they've said things that are hateful against a certain group of people, well, I'm sorry, but like almost every single hip-hop song is in some way or another generalizing or being hateful toward a certain group. Like, the sexism in hip-hop is fucking crazy. There is no genre that has referred to women as bitches as much as hip-hop has. There is no genre that is, you know, called for violence against the police as much as hip-hop has. But again, you wouldn't say that you can't enjoy that music because of that. You would be able to understand that humans are complex enough to object to lyrics while still enjoying the sound of a song. Am I supposed to agree with the worldview of every single artist I listen to? That's ridiculous. That's retarded. It just seems like a super abstract line to draw. Like, oh, I can't review Kanye's music because he said things that are anti-Semitic. But I can not only review, but give good scores to music and albums that promote drug use of all sorts, music that genuinely says doing drugs is fun and you should try it, music that glorifies killing other human beings. Like, he's given good scores to albums where that's like the main content of the album. And he hypes this music up and he promotes it to his audience. But like, this is where he draws the line. Oh, I can't give Kanye a platform. Oh, look at you, Anthony Fantano. You're standing up against hate hate in the world. Okay, so then why don't you take down basically every single music review you've done on your channel where there's anything negative said about another group of people? Anyway, so like I said, he dropped this video called Unreviewable 1 where he talks about the Kanye stuff, but I just find it so insane to me because, like, the entire premise of this video is like, oh, I can't give this guy attention. But, like, you're giving him attention. It is such an awful video for so many reasons. This guy's, like, 40 years old, and he goes on, like, a 5-minute rant about how Kanye fans are edgy teenagers, and, like, they don't matter. Their opinions don't matter. It's like, what? You understand, like, those same edgy teenagers are, like, your audience, right? Like, I've never seen an adult human watch an Anthony Fantano review. It was always, like, the poetry snobs on the bus ride to school that I would catch watching an Anthony Fantano video, like, yes, of course, this music is not to my liking. Oh dear, I'm going to have to give it a light 1. You know what I mean? It's very, like, bourgeois content.
This is completely unreviewable trash, and here's why.
This is already hilarious because later in the video, he actually goes in and reviews the music, so what's even the point of saying it's unreviewable if you're gonna review it? Like, why didn't he just cut this out of the video if he knew he was gonna review it later? I just don't understand that. That's like checkmating yourself. But since he's gonna go on to give his review of the album, I'm gonna give my review of it. I've been a Kanye fan for a while. I think Kanye's a great artist, and I thought Vultures was decent. I didn't think it was his best work. I'd say it was probably like the same tier quality as Yeezus. Ty Dolla $ign did great work on this album. I think he kind of carried it in a lot of ways. Just, you know, I am a Kanye fan, but there's just some verses from Kanye here that do suck. The song Paid could be so much better if Kanye just redid his verse. Bro, just please redo your verse. And then there's just some lyrics on the album that are just way too thirsty. Like, Kanye, bro, come on, man. Like, we don't need to be hearing these intrusive thoughts. But overall, and I believe there's 2 more Vultures coming out, so this is like 1 of 3. I'd give this one a 6 out of 10.
Question: what is even the purpose of a music review in the first place? I can say, at least in terms of my own intent, that when I do a music review, I hope to achieve a couple of things.
This guy's been doing YouTube for 10 years and he still can't figure out how to use a fucking green screen. Are you serious? The album cover is like glitching in and out of your wall, bro. Oh my god. Like, I know he probably just doesn't care at this point and he's just doing it because he likes to review the music, but at least have some standards. How are you gonna call an album, you know, oh, it's lacking production, it's unreviewable trash? Your wall is glitching, bro. This guy's a video maker who can't make videos. Like, what?
1. Give the viewer pause and cause them to think about why it is they do or don't like the piece of music or art that I'm doing an overview of. Or 2. Excite people to give the music that I'm talking about a try. Those are the 2 things I want to do. Problem: neither of those goals are possible in any scenario that involves reviewing this album. Newsflash: since 2022, Kanye has made it his mission to go,
wait, so why can't he do the first one? Why can't he review the music and make people think about whether or not they like something? Why is this not possible? I think it's very possible.
Full-on anti-Semite, spouting insane conspiracy theories, talking about how he loves. And at some point, I think he realized how much he fucked up with all of that. So now he has to own this total dumpster fire he's created and boast about how people think he's anti-Semitic now. Because yeah, they do. Even if he does genuinely apologize and change his behavior past this point, his public image is forever altered by all of this.
What a weird thing to just single out Kanye for this. Like, are you kidding me? You think he's the first artist to, like, be accused of something or whatever and then lean into it? Like, Eminem was nonstop accused of misogyny and homophobia early on throughout his career, and he responds with, like, the song Without Me. He's like, we need a little controversy because it feels so empty without me. It's like Eminem says something homophobic and responds with this. Kanye says something anti-Semitic and responds with this. I'm not saying you can't enjoy either of their music. Go for it, enjoy their music. But as a reviewer, if you're gonna review, you know, either of the music, you have to be consistent. This happens all the time, bro. Like, people were saying Lil Nas X is a Satanist or whatever, and how does he respond? I don't know, he did like that video where he twerked on the devil. I mean, pretty gay and, you know, not the biggest mic drop moment, but hey, you know, he leaned into the controversy. Tyler, the Creator, also did this. I mean, I could give you literally nonstop examples of times where people have been in controversy as music artists, and they incorporate that controversy in their music instead of, like, giving some sort of well-thought-out YouTuber apology shit when it comes to it.
Pushing away anybody who could possibly do that at this point. Especially his wife, who he has now replaced with somebody who he just, like, kind of parades around like she's a naked body body with no personality, opinion, or voice. Something that on some level I think he's weirdly proud of, as on the very lyrics to this record, he calls her just a reference.
This is hilarious, dude. So I was talking to Sensitive Society about this lyric because I didn't get it at first, but like the lyric is, I'm not racist, it's just a preference, and my bitch looking like a reference. So what he's saying is like, refer to his wife when you're wondering what his preference is in terms of what he's attracted to in a woman. If you want to find out if Kanye will find a woman attractive, refer to his wife. If they look similar, well, there you go. You know, it's not like what? He's not saying like, oh, he's objectifying his woman. He's being like, no. I mean, you know, the B word, whatever, but that's kind of with every rap song. But like, you wouldn't call someone racist for preferring a certain race of women, and you also wouldn't say that Kanye is objectifying his wife because he prefers her. It's crazy. 10 years into the music review game, and this guy does not know how to analyze lyrics. This video was rushed. It is not ready for YouTube. Take it down and try again, bald guy.
Which is maybe one of the grossest and most dehumanizing things Kanye has said about a woman on any of his songs, and it's being directed at his wife.
No. Wait, what? It's the opposite. If you want to know my preference, my wife is a reference. Is it? It's not dehumanizing at all. Dude, he's literally done this for 10 years. Review music, dissect lyrics. And this is what he thinks of? But also, let's just say Kanye wrote a lyric that objectified his wife. Like, bro, I'm sorry, Mr. Fantano, it's not really your job to say whether that's okay or not. It's kind of like, I don't know, her job.
So this trajectory Kanye has been on as of late has left him with an interesting mix of fans. One, hateful psychos that actually agree with some of the stuff that he's been saying and are actually in my Twitter mentions theorizing that I'm a Jew, and that's the reason I don't really like his recent music.
Well, no, dude, I just think you can't read. Like, we just watched you not understand a lyric and do any sort of research into what the lyric meant, and then simultaneously stare at the camera like you know what you're talking about. Like, brother, that was embarrassing.
Two, anonymous nihilistic teenagers that don't really think anything he says or does has any greater consequence in the world.
Again, buddy, you might want to be careful and watch where you're stepping, because you might slip on that slippery slope. You literally are saying artists say things that have a greater consequence in the world. Okay, then every single song that mentions killing somebody or doing drugs or doing anything bad by your own logic contributes to that thing being more popular in society. Anytime a rapper says, I've caught a body, or bro caught a body, he's literally saying, I've killed somebody. And by the slippery slope that you've created, you must be consistent in saying that that music creates more violence in society.
And are most likely bored and lonely and will just defend Kanye because watching him unravel is more entertaining than most things. And I guess brings some kind of meaning to their otherwise meaningless lives.
Bro, you're literally 40 years old and balding, and you're gonna complain that teenagers enjoy music. Dude, buy some, like, finasteride.
And three, cultish weirdos who parasocially obsess over him and everything he does, and would basically follow him to the ends of the earth. Keep in mind, these individuals have always been in his fan base to some degree, but prior they were at least mixed in with genuine hip-hop heads. Now, these three types of people, and there is overlap between them in Kanye's fan base, don't want to hear anything critical about him at all, ever.
By the way, this guy says people don't want to hear anything critical of Kanye, but when he was on his live stream actually reviewing the music on Vultures, this is the feedback that he gave. Sit here and honestly tell me, oh, this is critical. This is very insightful thinking. No, it's not.
You made a fake ass school. There's tons of articles about it. There's tons of interviews about it. Go on the fucking internet. I beg you. I fucking beg you. Leave the Kanye reservation and like do a little bit, just a tad bit of research. Don't get your information from a dumb anonymous fuck on Twitter with a Kanye avatar. Do not. That is not a good source of information.
And the guy with an alarmingly low amount of hair follicles on his scalp is a good source of information about Kanye. Not the Kanye fans who, like you said earlier, hyper obsess over the dude's life and probably know more information than you do. No. Just listen to you. Listen to the guy who never changes out of plaid, can't shave his mustache, and is somehow more biased in reviewing music than Ben Shapiro, who doesn't believe that rap is even a form of music in the first place.
Actually go read things.
dude, you literally can't read past a 3rd grade level. You would have trouble dissecting the plot of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It would take you 2 years to finish Captain Underpants. I really don't want to hear it.
I got kind of okay. Let's just continue on. Jesus Christ, she ran dick like a carnivore.
The professional music reviewer who we already established can't read lyrics properly also doesn't take the time to finish the song that he's giving a review of. You can't make this up.
They've openly rejected any good faith effort I've made to make them aware of Kanye's downward spiral into Nazi adjacent rhetoric.
Oh my god. You made a fucking TikTok, bro. Get over yourself. Guys, look at me. I'm a content creator and I created content. Look at me. Guys, I'm doing my job. Can I get a fucking standing ovation, please? Also, this is the most bad faith criticism I've ever heard. Like, you misinterpret his lyrics either on purpose or because you're too stupid to do your job, and you give the album a bad review after literally skipping the songs that you just, because you don't like Kanye? The best thing you could have done in this situation is just not review the album if you knew you couldn't do it without pissing your diaper.
And now imagery in the promotion of this record. The point is, there's no hope of having any level-headed conversation with somebody who is like deep into the Kanye fandom at this point. People who literally think anything and everything he does is great and will write off any bit of dissent as just being biased and unfair to him.
And you make that pretty easy to do when you are both biased and unfair. I mean, like, seriously, dude, can you not have a little bit of introspection before posting this trash? What fair looks like is giving a criticism of the things that Kanye has said and then going on to review the music without looking at his statements and social media posts and the things that he said. Just review the music. You're a music reviewer. You are not a psychologist. You don't have to analyze the things that he says, okay?
As if he's Jesus Christ and can do no wrong. So yeah, there's no convincing them, which I will say is also the case for people who have left the Kanye reservation over the past several years, because there are a fair share of people who are validly pissed off about everything Kanye's been saying and doing recently and feel like it's totally beyond the pale. And even if this record was somehow good, what am I supposed to do? Tell the Jews in my audience, "Aw, come on, man, he didn't mean it. It's not so bad. He's just a little crazy, that's all."
No, you just review the music. It is not that hard. Oh my god. Dude, oh my god. Ugh, fucking almost died there for a second. Okay, no, literally, like, just review the music. You're Anthony Fantano, the biggest internet's biggest, what is it? The internet's busiest internet's music nerd? The internet's busiest music nerd.
Especially since he's not doing anything to gain forgiveness. He is very apparently not sorry for anything he's been saying or doing. And the apologies he has given aren't worth a lick of shit, because he'll think nothing of saying Jesus Christ, sponsor that, not too long after. Now, there are some people who will say, "Anthony, you're being unfair here. Separate the art from the artist. Come on now. You can't separate this crap from the music because it's in the music. Look at the lyric."
Okay, I'm about to expose this guy so hard. If there's any moment from this video that you need to be watching, watch this. Listen to what he just said, okay? You can't separate the art from the artist. Well, check out this clip.
There are some artists whose personal actions I take offense with or I disagree with, or just personal politics I disagree with, and sometimes they turn up in their music, but I manage to enjoy at least some of their tracks anyway. Action Bronson, Eminem, Azealia Banks, Burzum, Varg are not key to enjoying a piece of art. Sometimes simply relating to what a song is saying or what an artist is doing in the music or outside of the music is maybe the laziest way to enjoy a piece of music, because there's no real appreciation in that equation for the sound or the performance or whatever the melody is or what the mix or the production is like. Me is, can someone of questionable moral standing, or at least someone who does not align with my personal morals, make art that emotionally resonates with me, that I find entertaining? Over the years, there have been leagues of seedy individuals in the music industry, on stage, behind the scenes, or maybe even behind a printed page. If you want morality, pick up a book or a written piece by Plato, Aristotle, maybe a bit of Socrates or Rousseau. If you want entertainment, pick up an album.
So yeah, caught in 4K, his old takes were better. I'm not even trying to say like, oh, he's a hypocrite, right? Because I don't really think someone's hypocritical for changing their mind on certain things as they grow older. And, you know, these clips are like 4 years old. But I do bring them up to say, like, yeah, his old takes are better. His old takes on this issue of, like, how to enjoy music are better. They just are, because they apply to like more artists, and it does not do this whole slippery slope dog shit. And I think he's so blinded by his hate for Kanye that this principle that he established, you know, a long time ago, that is a good way to digest music, is no longer applicable because he hates Kanye so much. And ironically, he complains about these apparent cultish loser weirdos that are obsessed with Kanye and defend him to the end, when in reality, he's kind of the same way, but just inverse. Like, he just hates him to the end. He doesn't care about facts or reason or, you know, artistic whatever. He just hates Kanye.
They have meaning, and they are saying things that are not good or normal. You would have to expect me to separate my brain from my skull if you think I'm just going to ignore it. I think this comment here pretty much sums things up. We don't care as long as the album is good. His personality and what he says doesn't matter to me. I only care about the music. How do you penetrate this level of self-imposed ignorance?
You don't. That's the entire point, is people are choosing to not care about what this person is saying outside of the music because they just want to enjoy the music. You don't have to force everyone to overthink about the media they consume and who produces it non-stop in order for them to enjoy it. One of the shows that I watched growing up was iCarly. Dan Schneider, the producer for the show, turned out to have some like really depraved interests and would exploit the actresses in the show for his own personal desires. That being said, the show is still good and I enjoy the show, and I don't not enjoy the show looking back on it now because the director was a fucking creep, okay? It's like Fantano literally wants to go up to every single Kanye listener and scold them for enjoying his music without like looking into the stuff that he's saying and having like a TED talk about why what Kanye is saying is bad.
This person is not listening to Kanye. He's not listening to anything I or anyone has to say about Kanye. And this comment was posted after the album was released, so he's apparently not even listening to the content of the music that he supposedly cares so much about. So this argument about, I only care about the music, can't possibly be true, especially since the music too is shit. The song Paid is one of the most unintentionally hilarious tracks I think Kanye has ever put out. It's just a crappier version of Fade. Why wouldn't you just listen to Fade? You'd have to be delusional to think anything else, especially with this trash-ass verse from Ye, and Ty Dolla $ign on it is just amazing, saying that he's just here to get paid. At least he's honest.
So it's unreviewable, but he goes on to literally review the tracks and give his feedback on the tracks. Like, bro, I don't understand this. So you are reviewing it. Although everything you just said before this would say, oh, I'm not allowed to review this and I can't platform this, but you're still gonna review it. Okay, bro. I mean, he's not like totally wrong. The song Paid is kind of like a worse version of Fade, but it's not bad. I mean, like, again, he's just kind of blinded by the hate.
Then Back to Me with that Jay and Silent Bob chorus has to be one of the dumbest things I've heard on any Kanye album ever. I feel like I'm being punked. But naked, beautiful, big titty bitches don't just fly into the sky, you know.
So now he's just like pretending that the lyrics on Vultures is like the weirdest stuff he's ever said. Bro, go back and listen to The Life of Pablo. There's some weird ass bars on that album. And Fantano's also acting like weird bars is off-brand for Kanye. Like, what? Kanye has some of the weirdest bars in all of hip hop. Look at his discography, bro. Go back, cherry pick the weird ones, and then contrast those to what he's saying on Vultures. Yeah, sure, there's some weird bars on Vultures, but they're not like uniquely strange.
At least Freddie Gibbs somehow made it flow, but yeah, that dude, as good as he is at rapping, he did not say this track. Then Hood Rat has maybe one of the most excruciatingly bad instrumentals on any Kanye album ever. The mix is a mess, and God, those repetitions of Herd Rat, Herd Rat, Herd Rat, Herd Rat. I mean, I guess it kind of... Herd Rat, Herd Rat, Herd Rat, Herd